Sometimes a story does not begin with an event, but with silence. That particular kind of silence, where the sea stops being noise and the land stops being just a surface. In moments like these, space itself feels as if it is not waiting for questions, but ready to confess. Welcome to Hop Coast. Here, we tell stories about places where myth did not disappear, it simply became part of the air. Tonight's story is about a goddess who came out of the sea and about the towers that still stand as if they are waiting for her return. In Nha Trang, there is a hill people climb not for the view and not for photographs. From here, you can see the Khai River slowly losing itself in the sea, as if remembering where it came from. This is where the Poh Nagar Towers rise dark, warm to the touch, built from bricks that seem older than time itself. They do not feel abandoned. They feel watchful, as if they know that the reason they were built has not yet come to an end. Long before the city existed, before roads, streetlights, and names, this land belonged to the Cham people. For them, the world was never divided into the material and the spiritual. Stone could remember touch, water could hear requests, wind could carry intention. The sea was not chaos, it was origin, a maternal depth from which not only creatures were born, but forces capable of holding the world in balance. According to ancient legend, one night the sea became completely still, not because it was calm, but because it was waiting. Waves froze in place, the wind disappeared, and the sky reflected in the water so clearly that the boundary between them dissolved. At dawn, fishermen saw a figure near the shore. It did not move, yet it was not part of the landscape. As they approached, they realized it was a woman. Her body looked like stone polished by water, yet it was warm and alive. Her eyes reflected not the sun, but depth, and the sea around her pulled back, as if recognizing its mistress. They called her Poh Nagar, mother of the land, mother of the country, the creator. In some versions of the myth, she was born from sea foam and clouds. In others, she was formed from a piece of sandalwood that the ocean itself chose and carried to shore. This was no coincidence. Sandalwood was believed to be a bridge between worlds, a material where spirit could linger longer than in flesh. That is why Poh Nagar was both earthly and unearthly. She did not teach people through words. She taught through presence. Where she walked, soil became fertile. Rivers found paths that did not destroy their banks. People learned to grow rice, weave cloth, shape vessels, and use fire without letting it consume everything around them. She did not forbid. She did not punish. She reminded. In Cham belief, Poh Nagar was not only a mother, she was a measure. It was said that if humans took more from the land than they could return, the goddess would reclaim the balance through floods, droughts, or the sea itself. She was not worshipped through fear, but through attention. The Poh Nagar Towers were built as a point of presence, a place where the goddess could remain close to people without losing her connection to the sea. They were constructed from a special type of brick, whose secret remains unknown. There is no mortar between them, yet they are fused as if bonded from within. The Cham believed that if a structure was built without respect for the spirits of the land, it would not stand. Every stage of construction was accompanied by rituals, offerings to water, fire, and wind. These towers were not temples in the familiar sense. They were thresholds. People did not pray loudly here. They came to remain silent. Incense blended with humid air, and the sound of footsteps seemed to vanish, as if the ground itself absorbed it. When the Cham kingdom weakened and Vietnamese settlers arrived, the cult of Poh Nagar did not disappear. It transformed. The goddess became known as Thien Huy Ana, the Heavenly Lady. Yet her essence remained unchanged, a mother, born of water. This is one of the rare cases where an ancient deity was not erased by a new belief system, but absorbed into it. Poh Nagar ceased to be only a sea goddess. She became the spirit of the land itself, but the sea remained her origin. Over time, Belief in Ponagar moved beyond legend. It became ritual, calendar, bodily memory. Even today, despite tourists and city noise, the Ponagar Towers remain an active, sacred space. The past does not feel finished here. It breathes. Every spring, at the end of the third lunar month, the festival of Tin Wai Na takes place. During these days, the towers fill with incense, smoke, the air grows heavy and warm, and the space itself seems to tighten. Women bring cloth, fruit, rice, and sweets, not symbolic offerings, but the results of their own labor. It is believed the goddess listens more closely to those who give something shaped by their own life. Ancient music fills the air, slow drums, drawn-out melodies, movements that resemble gestures more than dance. The dancers' hands rise and fall like waves. This is not performance, it is conversation. A language where beauty matters less than precision. It is said that during the festival, Ponagar is especially close. Some feel lightheaded, others experience a strange warmth in the chest. It is not frightening. It is understood as a sign of being noticed. Modern belief rarely speaks aloud, but it lives in habits. Fishermen still cast offerings into the water before going to sea. Women come to the towers at dawn, pressing their palms against the warm bricks, asking for children, protection, and balance within their families. There are unspoken rules. No loud laughter inside the towers. No lingering with cameras. No turning your back to the altars. Even those who do not believe feel that the place itself dictates behavior, and if those rules are broken, punishment is rarely immediate. More often, it takes the form of a lingering heaviness that stays long after you leave. Many believe Ponagar still holds the balance between land and sea. Some say her presence protects Nha Trang from destructive storms. Tourists who know nothing of the legend often describe the same sensations: calm, inner silence, a strange slowing of time. The myth continues to work even without explanation. At sunset, if you remain at the towers long enough, you may hear the sea even when it is no longer visible. It is said this means Ponagar is looking toward the water, to the place she came from. She does not call. She does not warn. She simply remains, because a mother of the land never truly leaves. She only becomes deeper. That is why the Ponagar Towers do not stand as a monument to the past, but as a reminder. In Vietnam, the sea is not a boundary, it is a beginning. And sometimes, what rises from it is not a ship but a goddess, reminding humanity that everything created must one day be returned with respect. If stories like this speak to you, stories of ancient forces, living goddesses, and places where myth still breathes, stay with HopCoast. Subscribe to the channel. More stories are ahead. Best listened to at night, when the sea darkens and legends stop being just words.